Welcome back to my YouTube. It's your girl Honey. Today we're doing a very different video, but I thought I would make this because I'm a 12th house person. I always say this. I'm also an 8th house person. My Sun and my Mercury fall into my 12th house. I'm a Gemini rising. Most of you know this stuff already anyway. A lot of people very much misunderstand me, or I feel very misunderstood. 12th house energy is always spoken about as, oh, if your sun falls into that house, you never quite know exactly who you are, blah, blah, blah. It all depends on the rest of your chart and how everything else is afflicted. Everyone's different. I feel like I'm very comfortable with who I am because your sun's placement is always going to tell you what your main focus in life is, as the sun is the soul's purpose. So with it being in my 12th house, I'm carrying out this spiritual work. This is exactly what 12th house is, spiritual work, healing of other people. When you have planets in there, planets, even asteroids that are afflicted in your 12th house, you're a 12th house person, especially if Chiron's in there. 12th house is home to Pisces, right? Pisces rules Neptune. 12th house represents all things you cannot see. It's the subconscious. It's your dreams, your illusions, hidden enemies, travel, outer realm experiences, past life, escapism, drugs, substance abusing, alcoholism, jails, hospitals. It's all the things that you cannot see. When you think about it, you've got the first house, which is the house of your appearance, your identity. Second house is your earned gains, your finances. Third house is your siblings. Fourth house is your home. Every single house represents something that you can see. The house is your subconscious. You cannot see this. This is why a lot of 12th house people are very easily misunderstood throughout their lives. Their best friends don't really know who they are. And this is why sometimes, in some cases, some people find themselves never quite knowing, always questioning, God, who am I? You know, is this really me? Should I be behaving like this? There's a lot of information running through your brain, especially if you've got Mercury in here. I know, I talk to myself 24/7. Mercury in this house will make you do that. But you start to question yourself because other people are not able to kind of understand who you are, what your purpose is. The 12th house represents hidden enemies, okay? And this is something I feel that I've had to deal with all my life, man. It's crazy because I'm a Gemini rising. My Jupiter trines my Venus. I'm very likable. I want the best for everybody, okay? I'm not gonna go out of my way to harm and hurt everybody. Yes, I'm a Pluto dominant, but I'm a Saturn dominant, then Neptune. I'm very serious. When I say stuff, I mean what I say. The hidden enemies aspect is people are always going to come and test you as a 12th house person. They're going to test your patience. They're going to offload their baggage onto you and expect you to save them every single time. Why I have to create this boundary around me. As a 12th house person, everybody needs to create a boundary because people are not going to understand you. So you have to make things very clear what you're saying. My boundary is basically, I'm sat in a park, right, in the center of a park, and I've built a fence around me in a circle. I'm sat in the middle by myself, doing nothing. I'm just chilling in solitude on my own. Someone walks past my fence and says, "Hi, honey, are you all right?" And I'm like, "Yes, thank you, I'm great." I go back into solitude. "Oh, well, let me come over and see if you're really okay. Let me just come over." Before I can say yes or no, they've already jumped the boundary. This is the 12th house energy, is that I've made it very clear that I have boundaries. My boundaries to me is communication. Because my Mercury's in this house. People tend to overstep the boundaries in regards to how they are communicating with me. So this is my problem. When it comes to your moon, if you've got your moon here, your boundaries is probably in regards to your emotions, your mother, how much you are willing to share This is where I feel the energy kind of conflicts for a lot of people, because I'm Gemini ruled. I'm Mercury ruled. As being a Gemini rising, I appear very friendly, very talkative and happy. But my Mercury falls into my 12th house in Taurus. I'm not able to be constantly available communication-wise when I'm communicating constantly in my head. And I want to do it in solitude on my own. But people overstep the boundaries. Because I'm also a YouTuber, I'm happy with people communicating with me, but I can't engage in deep conversations. I can't engage in it. I can't. But people overstep the boundaries. You being a 12th house person, they offload their baggage onto you. People want to constantly be telling you everything that's happened to them. I've got cancer. My mum's dying. I'm going through a deep depression. And it's always negative. But you have to understand this energy as well. 12th house people, you are healers. Oh my God, there was one time I was standing in the queue in the post office about to send off some packages. And there's a long queue, probably about 8 or 9 people, and it's quiet. The girl that is about 2 people ahead of me, she turns around and we just lock eyes for literally, what, a second, if that. She comes over, hey, you know, and I'm like, hello, you know, because again, boundaries. 12th house people attract a lot of people with mental health issues, with people that have problems, because this is a subconscious, or this is a very spiritual connection, 12 houses that we have, that makes us attract people that have these mental health problems to come to us. I look at mental health as a thing like this, and I always say this. People that are dealing with mental health, autism, schizophrenia, learning difficulties to an extent, anybody, depression, right? This is all 12th house energy. 12th house represents outer realms, different realms, past lives. The people that are dealing with mental health, depression, all of that stuff, I always say this. I feel like their physical body is here, but they are trapped from their past life. They're trapped from their past life, or their mind is in a different realm and they're struggling to bring the energies together. And sometimes when you're found, they're coming to you to heal, to help heal them. But you can't always heal everybody. It's not possible, right? But you have to kind of understand that you're going to attract a lot of people that have problems that will offload their baggage onto you. I always say this to my Pluto 12 houses, Scorpio 12 houses. You guys, if you cannot handle that secrets and the burdens of other people, you're better off literally a therapist to help you release all of your secrets and all of this energy, because it can be so heavy on the soul that you're not even able to even move forward properly because you're harboring all this energy within yourself. So in regards to hidden enemies, which I think I started before but didn't quite finish, your friends tend to cross your boundaries a lot. Look, when I see Mars in this house as well, this is typical for Mars being here, Mercury even. I always use this example because it's the most simplest example to use. As a 12th house person, particularly Mars, when a friend says to you, honey, let's go out tonight, let's go raving, you've said no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. That person is still not fucking listening. You do not like being pressured to do something that you don't want to do. People do not take no for an answer. When you answer them after you feel like you've been poked and prodded and backed into a corner, because that's what it feels like to us, your reaction is a motherfucking surprise. We as 12th house people react really badly to when we're not being heard or listened to, and we've repeated ourselves over and over again. And the reaction is not Action's not our fault, but it just comes out in the worst type of way because we've said it 10 times. Bitch, I'm not coming. I said I'm not fucking coming. I can say it like that and it comes out really bad, like I'm attacking my friend, but I'm not. It's because you did not hear me. 12th house people are not heard the first time because people overstep the boundaries. So hear this story, right? About a year ago, I got a message or a comment on my YouTube channel from a girl who said that she's a clairvoyant and that she's got a message to send to me and that I must add her on Facebook to receive it. So I said, okay, she's got something to say. Typical 12th house stuff. I always attract this kind of energy. So I said, okay, I messaged her on Facebook and I asked her what this message was, and her first response was, has someone around you died? And I was like, no one's died around me. What's the message for? She didn't have anything to say, so she started talking about her ex-partner and how she's very stressed out and how she's in a horrible place with her boyfriend, her current boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend, how she wants to meet somebody new, and how, she told me everything about her, even down to the fact that she was almost stolen by R. Kelly. Yes, R. Kelly. Literally the following week, the story about R. Kelly came to surface. The following week, people, right? But it was mad because I'm reading through the conversation and she's asking questions about me, but I'm not revealing anything. I'm an 8th house moon person, Capricorn moon at that. I hardly express things to my friends. But what I'm seeing with her is that this is 12th house energy again. I'm picking up Neptune vibes from her. So she's a Capricorn and her Neptune is conjunct her sun, all right? Very open and free to express her problems and offload her problems onto myself as a 12th house person. So what happened was she kept on, after that day, she kept on hitting me up in my messages. How are you? Are you okay? I'm not sure the energy that I'm picking up on you today, but are you okay? Then she found me on Instagram, DMing me on there. Are you okay? I'm fine. And I said to her, I have close friends and I'm a Capricorn moon. I'm not very good at expressing, but if I was to, I would express to my close friends because they understand me. Me being an Aries sun, I'm very direct in what I say, but I wasn't being rude. I wasn't being disrespectful or anything, but she took it that way. And this is what happens with 12th house energy, is that when you're constantly saying no, people don't hear you. When you say no, people hear you, but they take it the wrong way. She then turns abusive and then blocks me on all social medias, and it's like, finally she's gone. But why did it have to take me to say no for you to actually listen to what I've been saying? The house of solitude. We always end up spending time on our own, even in groups. So listen, the amount of times at parties I've been having a good time, I will remove myself from the party and go to a quiet place, in the house, in the room, outside, in the car, just for 10 minutes, just to collect my own thoughts and be on my own. And just every time I've done that, someone comes over. Are you okay? Bitch, I'm absolutely brilliant. I was before you came over here. That's what I'm thinking. But I say, yeah, I'm fine. Are you sure you're by yourself? I know, like, it's normal. I'm cool with this. 12th house people, we need just that 10 minutes away to ourselves, just for a minute. But again, the boundaries. People overstep the boundaries. Now, for some people, staying in the house, doing nothing in solitude is not healthy. You have to make sure you are doing something that is very active. All right, being active. You're either going to the gym by yourself, you're working out at home, you're sketching, you're making music, you're creating, and doing something. Because if you're going to stay home and do nothing, you're not going to be inspired as a 12th house person that you are. Especially if you're a sun 12th house person, you have a hidden talent. You should be doing something with your talent. I always advise you should choose what days that you solitude and choose what days that you don't want to solitude. You stay in the house for 4 days and you go out for 3 days with your friends. That's negotiating. But I always say, if you're going to stay in the house, make sure you are doing something that's keeping you inspired, because it's very easy for a 12th house person to fall into depression. If Chiron is here, if Pluto is here, easy to fall into depression. Now, Jupiter in this house is the biggest placement for escapists. Escaping in regards to escaping from the realities of the world, escaping from your friends, from your partners, from your work, from everything happening. Escaping can also be taking drugs, substance abusing. It could be sketching, it could be painting. But like I said, you have to use this time and this energy to feel inspired, to do something. So that becomes your escapist. Now, regarding the sun's placement here, people in the astro community always like, oh,
12th house is the worst place for the sun to be. You know, I'd hate my kid to be born as a 12th house sun person.
All this fuckery. Now, 12th house sun, it can bring some identity or ego issues. If the sun is falling into your 12th house, it can relate to your ego being suppressed, because anything in this house will suppress that energy. The sun is the soul's purpose. The sun is the ego. The sun is the father. When the sun falls into this house, it's going to create this, well, okay, my ego is not going to be that big then. You know, what's my purpose in life then? Because I can't find it so freely like everybody else. And then, where's my dad? When the sun or moon falls into this house, you may have to parent your own parents at times. And the thing is, a lot of this stuff that 12th house people experience, people that aren't 12th houses don't understand this energy because they're not experiencing it. And because it's a house that you cannot pinpoint and say what the fuck it is, it's not quite easily understood. 12th house people understand the energy of each other. 12th house can grant you with spiritual gifts. Mercury 12th house people, some of them, have the spiritual ability to hear messages. And this is what I mean with the schizophrenia stuff. Hear messages, schizophrenia messages. It could be messages from your ancestors, from outer realms, okay, from spirits. It grants you with these abilities to hear messages, and you're supposed to pass them on. Mercury and Taurus people are visuals. The messages that I could be getting could literally be visuals. You've got Uranus in this house. You're going to experience your messages coming through your dreams. I love my Mercury placement in this house, not in Taurus. What I love about it is that it allows me to read between the lines. It allows me to be this mass manipulator. I'm always 10 steps ahead of a situation. I can always see what's going to happen in a situation before it actually gets to that point. I could be literally talking to a friend and I've got a friend that's chatting to her friend across the room. I can see that my friend across the room is staring at me, but I'm not showing her the body language that I see you looking at me, bitch. Mercury in this house allows you to see things that other people cannot actually see. Your friend says to you,
well, you know, I didn't fuck him. I never slept with him.
Mercury 12th house.
Oh yeah, I believe you.
Mercury 12th house will not tell you that I don't believe you. Mercury 12th house is like, okay, but you know the truth. You know the truth. Mercury, it's like Mercury Pisces, Mercury 12th house. You appear to be people always think you're stupid, but you're not. You're able to see things and people never know that you see them because you never talk about what you see. Mercury 12th house people listen more than they talk because they're getting more out of the conversation than what you're thinking they're getting. And this is what I mean about 12th house energy. You don't really know that 12th house person. This video was long as hell, right? But I had to film this because it's absolutely important that you guys are aware of how this 12th house energy really manifests within us. Hit me up for a reading. Check my bio description for my website, honey. And yeah, I wish you guys all the best. I will see you on the next one, people. Take care.